Hello.
Wow. Hey, hello there. What's going on?
Hello. How's everyone doing?
That's good. I'm sorry if we got background noise. Jack is like instantly interested in sitting on my lap.
Yeah, he doesn't like us any other time other than when we're both in this room. So I think he's just jealous. I think he has FOMO.
I think so.
He's
FOMO,
got
OMO.
FOMO. FOMO for OMO.
We're
He
gonna have
thinks
to
it's
do.
his podcast.
We'll have to do an episode of the podcast where we talk about FOMO, like things that
Ooh,
we're afraid of
it's a good
missing out on.
topic.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Love it.
But yeah, no, like Jack has been sleeping on the couch all morning.
He doesn't move when I'm here. Like, if you're gone, he's just like, ugh.
Bye. Not interested.
Other than this morning when I was putting a lemon in my water and he was very interested.
Very
He thought that
interested.
was for him. I was like, it's a lemon.
Yeah.
He's really grasping at straws these days.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's like, you have a piece of paper? Can I have that? Is it good? Does it taste good?
You know, like when toddlers go through the mind phase where it's like mine, everything's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack.
He's now at that stage.
Yeah, at the ripe age of 16.
16.
He's like, yeah, everything belongs to me now. Thanks.
He's just so hungry all the time. He's ready to eat anything.
Yeah. Funny story. Yesterday, he ate, and he never does this anymore, but he ate, but I think he ate too quickly and he ended up throwing up like right after eating.
Mm.
And I was like, this is so like you never do this.
Yeah.
And I think I need to increase like the portion or maybe give him like an extra feeding in the afternoon because he eats at 6 a.m., 1 p.m., 8 p.m.
I think it's just he's eating too fast. He waits for that thing to go off and eats it within like a minute.
Well,
It's
yeah,
so
but that
fast.
also tells me that like the animal is looking for food, right?
Yeah.
Because there's no social reason for a cat to feel like they're like they have to eat. You know what I mean? It's an instinct more than anything.
Hmm.
So, or maybe he feels like he's just not living for anything except for the bowl.
I think if we left food out, he would just continually eat.
I
I
felt
wonder
his.
what would happen if you just left bowls of food there all the time. If he would eventually just not really care about it, or if he just like.
I would love to do that. The only thing is that like when Wiley comes over, he might eat it. I'm not blaming Wiley in any way, shape, or form, but like there's that because like I have to continuously take away Wiley's bowl because Jack will eat it. So it's like to have to worry about both sides of that war. I'm like, ugh.
That's why I put his food bowl up there because he was also eating it last night while he was eating your chocolate.
Yeah. I found some
trying to get into the chocolate.
Some Easter eggs from Loblaws, the President's Choice, which like actually the same, if not better than the Cadbury mini eggs. So like, and they're cheaper. They're cheaper. So give that one a shot.
Yeah.
Budget friendly, you know?
Deal.
But how are you, Michala? What's going on? You've been home all week, which is very strange.
I've been home all week. Just working on things. We're coming to the end of my semester. So it's just like a lot of stupid projects that I have to do.
Yeah. Are they large projects or are they like
they're like not hard. Well, okay, I'm finishing up a psychology paper. That's been annoying. They're just more time consuming than anything.
Mm-hmm. Are they group projects, a lot of them?
Yeah, I have 2 group projects. I hate group projects.
Group projects are so dumb.
Group projects.
So stupid.
Which I guess kind of goes into our topic for today of things that we don't like. But
yeah, pet peeves. It's the pet peeve episode.
Pet peeves, yeah. But how have you been? How have you been?
What have
you been doing?
I've had like a really stressful week, but like not stressful as like, oh, there's so much to do. Like just things that are like internally bothering me about people. You know what I mean? Like, I work for this organization and I'm finding because like I don't have a personal connection to anybody within this organization. And because I work from home and I'm blaming it on working from home, but I also very much enjoy working from home. But the communication that I have with people feels so transactional that when feedback or anything like that comes across, I instantly am like taking things personal and I'm putting it into like a personal box of
Mhm.
like so and so did this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I actually just had a call this morning with my program head that I was just telling them like I'm really having a difficult time like maneuvering my way around these things because I don't know anybody and I don't know how like in this amount of time that I'm gonna bother to get to know them.
Yeah.
And he really put a lot of things into perspective that was like, yeah, you're right. Like that totally makes sense. A lot of it was like, in the future, think of it this way. Like you're going to be so happy that you were able to do this in this time frame. And it's kind of nice because everything right now is condensed that you don't have to worry about a 6 month uh or like an 8 month campaign, right? Like
Yeah.
you're creating something on the fly, very rushed, get it going, do well, and show up to the next team and say, I was able to do this in this amount of time. Imagine what I can do with the amount of time that you're giving me on this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like, thank you very much. I really
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah. It's all about creating like a portfolio, right? Just like keep track of everything that you're doing and
Yeah. Which keeping track of like what you're doing, like a portfolio, like
Mhm.
building a portfolio for yourself, it's so difficult to do because it's so tedious,
Yeah.
right?
I need to start doing that for school stuff because there's a lot of different like campaigns that we build or posters that we make and stuff like that, and just have it in a PDF file and be like, this is what I've done.
Yeah.
This is an example of some stuff that I can do for you, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. That was one thing that, because I went to college instead of university. So there was a lot more focus on like the actual program that you're taking rather than like the course load that you're doing, right?
Yeah.
So by the end of it, we had to build like a website with our portfolio.
Mm.
And great idea to build like a website for yourself to like show the things that you've done. But it's also like really like it's such a pain in the neck because you're like, why am I like I have to go back and like look through all the things that I did and like within nothing from first year because like we didn't really know anything in first year. We were just grasping at straws for ideas. But like
Yeah.
second year, third year, and then fourth year, it was like I have to go through and like correct the grammar and like your writing develops so much that you don't even realize throughout your school career. It's crazy.
Yeah. Hmm. It's funny looking back and being like, ew, I did that in
Hmm.
first year.
Ooh, I wrote that.
Gross. Such a loser.
Right? Yeah. Ever heard of Grammarly?
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I guess this is kind of a cool way to like dig into like the topic for
Yeah.
today, which is pet peeves.
We're talking about pet peeves. We've talked about this a little bit, I think, in the past, but now
We're gonna
we're gonna
focus.
focus on it.
Yeah. Um, do you have a pet peeve? Like something just in general when it happens, like we'll say with like a stranger out in the wild,
Mhm.
that if they do something, you're just like, why do people do this?
I think on a day-to-day basis, it's like people just like on the street not knowing what they're doing and like holding up traffic. Like I think it's tourists that are the biggest thing because
Mhm.
we're in such a tourist place. But when tourists come in, they forget that there's people that are just like living their daily lives. So they're like standing there, like, oh, let's take a selfie. I'm like, can you move? Like, I need to get somewhere.
Yeah.
Or like on the subway, they're like, I think we get on this one. I'm like, move out of the way because the thing's gonna close. Like,
Yeah.
you know, just
Yeah. Like you're, yeah, no,
yeah.
I 100% agree.
It's very easy to forget when you're traveling that you're like, oh yeah, people live here
Mhm.
and they're living their lives.
Yeah.
And we're here for fun. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But that I would also argue that like when I go somewhere, like we'll say like when I went to Europe, right? And we were in Rome and we were looking at everything. I always think to myself, wow, people just live here. Like people
Mhm.
just they wake up every day and they see the Colosseum. And
Yeah.
people travel from all around the world to like see this. And it's the same thing with like Toronto. When I first moved here, I used to have to walk past the CN Tower every morning on my way to work.
Mhm.
And I remember just looking at it and being like, I get to look at this thing every day.
And now we're like, ugh.
Yeah. Now, like, you can't even pay me to go up into the CN Tower anymore. I'm like,
How many times did you go up it?
I've probably been up that thing like 9 times.
Well,
Yeah. And like, although Toronto has 2 seasons, which is winter and construction,
true.
I don't notice a lot of differences when I'm up that high. So for any tourists out there that are trying to get me to go up there with you, not interested anymore.
But you know what I have actually wanted to try is the 360 lounge.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't actually gone there.
Me either. But I also heard it's very expensive. Yeah.
We're poor.
So poor. But back to like the whole tourist stopping.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that drives me nuts with people who we'll say tourists, but it could just be anybody in the city, is when you're walking, but they just stop abruptly because they have to look at something or they have to and you're just like when it's in the bike lane.
I was just going to say the bike lane.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, you're going to get run over. Get out of the way or stop walking in the bike lane.
It's people that walk in the bike lane.
Yeah.
I'm like, right beside you is a pedestrian sidewalk.
Yeah.
The whole reason there's a bike lane is because pedestrians get mad that bikers are going to hit them.
Yeah.
So that's the point of the two separate things. And now you're going to walk in the bike lane. Mind you, I don't walk in the bike lane, but I have crossed over without looking. I will say that. But I'm more like conscious of it now because I bike more.
I'm always very self-conscious if I have to walk in the bike lane, whether it be crossing it or if like there's a sidewalk closure or something like that. And it's like,
yeah,
because like right where we live, there's been a lot of construction over the last couple of years. And so it's like closes down the sidewalks and then bike lane gets pushed to like the right lane of traffic. And then you have to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm always like not conscious because I don't want to annoy somebody, but conscious because I know that cyclists are mean.
Oh, and yes. Okay. There's a difference between people that bike and cyclists. And they are intense and they have all their gear and they are riding their like $5,000 bike and they're like ripping it down the bike lane and they will murder you.
Yes.
If you walk in the bike lane.
Yeah.
And then there's people like me who bike and we don't know how to work the bike properly. One wheel is kind of broken.
Yeah.
And you're going to hit someone anyway. So
I'm there. It's so funny when like you're on like a bike share and you have cyclists coming up behind you and they're like on your left, but like I'm biking at like a regular pace. I have headphones in.
Yeah.
I'm not listening to you.
Also, I don't know my left and right.
You let go of the handlebars and put your thumbs up or your fingers up. Oh. Which one's the L? Which one's the L?
Another thing that drives me crazy is cars that just pull over into the bike lane. Like there was this guy on a busy street. I can't remember. It was like rush hour traffic or something. And this guy was just pulled over into the bike lane on his phone or just like listening to music. I'm like, why are you pulled over right there? So annoying.
Yeah. Like he just like pulled his vehicle into the bike lane?
Yeah.
That's weird.
I know. And also that was a no parking zone. So
get the hell out of my way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The audacity.
Yeah. We're going to find you. Yeah, I think for another pet peeve is like on the topic of like vehicles and bikes and like that kind of thing. When you're biking somewhere and like there's no bike lane, you have to like keep to the right.
Yeah.
But when you're coming up to parked vehicles, you're afraid to get doored, right? Because like that's a serious thing. Like you can really hurt yourself. So when you're like going into traffic a little bit to avoid potential dooring and like people who are driving will like give you stink eye and you're like, I'm not in your way. Like buddy, chill it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like also you're driving, you're going to get to where you're going a heck of a lot faster than me. So like count your blessings. Like,
Hmm. Also, just like driving in general, merging and like I hate city traffic for this reason because people don't let you in and then you're blocking another lane. It's like if we just work together, we could be on the highway by now.
Yo, getting onto the Gardner.
Oh, and the gardener starts at our place, like around the corner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's like it's this it's the ramp. It's all the ramps actually, where you're going from like under the Gardner to on top of the Gardner, the
Mhm.
Gardner Expressway, I guess it's called on top, right? Um, that all over the place, like by the, it's not the Scotiabank. What is it?
Yeah, the
Scotiabank Arena.
Scotiabank Arena. Yeah.
Um, but like that whole like those ramps that go up onto the expressway take forever to get onto because like there's all this tourism traffic and then there's like event traffic that's always around us, but then that gets like combined with rush hour traffic because people are trying to get home. And it's like,
Yeah. Oh, I've just given up taking the highway unless it's like 1 in the afternoon. By 2:30, 3 o'clock now, there's already traffic on the highway. Why are you not working? I don't understand.
I don't understand it.
So I just take Lakeshore the whole way. I'm like, I'd rather sit in traffic from like traffic, like red lights,
Yeah,
than back to back traffic trying to
fair.
get onto the highway.
I love driving on Lakeshore.
Yeah, me too.
Lakeshore is just a good drive.
It's a good drive, and I always forget about it because I just like to get where I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Which brings us on our next topic of pet peeve: people who waste your time. I
I didn't know we were
hate
going into
that.
this one.
I knew you were gonna have a lot to say about this. I thought that would
Oh,
bring it up.
people who waste your time, but also people who don't take your time into consideration,
Hmm.
right? In the day and age right now with people working from home, but then also people working in office, the amount of time that I have had people cancel meetings, not even like, not even in the last like couple weeks, I'm talking like in general, the amount of people who cancel meetings minutes before they're supposed to start is
Hmm.
like I got stuff together so that I could go into this meeting prepared to be able to like deliver something to you.
Yeah.
Whether you're above me or you are like someone who is working lateral to me, it's rude. Like unless there is a real reason to cancel, like I don't know, you spilt hot coffee on yourself and you're treating a burn. Like,
Yeah.
you know, um yeah, no, drives me absolutely crazy, and I take it personal, and I cry sometimes.
See, I hate like doctor's appointments that waste your time.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Like you're booking an appointment. Okay. There's two parts to this. You're booking an appointment. Why are there so many delays? Because you take 2 seconds in my appointment and then you're out. So I don't understand where the lag is. Second, um, when they call you in for appointments to go over results that are totally normal, why do you have to have an appointment for that?
Mm-hmm.
There's been like 3 times I've gone in. I take time off work or I like commute there. The appointment's 2 seconds. They come in and they're like, yeah, it was all good. All right, we'll see you next year.
Couldn't have put that in
Could
an
have been a
email?
phone call or an email.
Mm-hmm. Throw it in an email and include the results.
Like I get sometimes they can't put the results because they just like won't give you the results sometimes, but I'd rather know, hey, everything's all good than having to go in thinking that it's not good.
Or when they're calling to make the appointment, I guess that would be the right time to do it, was be like, hey, just want to let you know that we have the results. Um, like everything's fine. Everything checks out normal. If you would like to review the results yourself, we can book you in for a short appointment
Yeah.
where like I will just personally give you the results, like paper in hand kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
that would be the difference, I guess. But we're also getting to the point in like modern technology where like if you wanted to share results and you are like if you're afraid of this information like leaking, like that kind of thing, then I don't think you know how to use technology responsibly. Like
Yeah.
there are ways to get this information to you where it's secure. So
Yeah.
maybe your receptionist needs to go back to school to figure out this technology. I don't know, but like stop wasting my time. Yeah, that's where we're
I
at.
think it's more, I don't know if it's so much from like a receptionist standpoint. I think it's just like the medical system in general. They just don't
Hmm.
want results like given to you. It's really weird. Have you ever asked for results from a doctor? They're very weird about giving it to you.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe now it's a little better, but I know in the past getting anything from doctors was like, well, what do you need it for? Blah, blah, blah. Like, it's weird.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
I just think that all these appointments that you're booking to tell people that they're totally fine and they don't need to come back, you could have taken that time for people that actually needed to get in.
Yeah.
And it's just such a, that's why there's such a lag in getting appointments and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, we'll see you in 10 months. I'm like, it's a checkup. At that point, I'm not going to need to come in.
Yeah. I might need a eulogy.
Yeah.
um as- on the topic of doctors and like the healthcare system, um I don't understand, and I would love to actually like interview a doctor or like what are they called? A family what's a
Family
family
physician.
doctor? Yeah.
Yeah.
And what are they called for short? FP or
Mm,
um oh, a GP, general
GP. Yeah.
practitioner.
Yeah.
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 Um I would love to interview one and just be like, what is the holdup when I'm sitting in a room? Why do I have to sit in that little room by myself for so long after I already had to sit in the waiting room for so long? Where my appointment that I was like, why is everything pushed back so far? Because
Yeah.
I never have, like, I never take up more than my 30 or 45 minutes that are in this room. Like,
Mhm. Or like walk-in doctors. There's
mhm.
like 10 of you sitting out there. You're waiting forever. What's what are you doing? Because like anyone that I saw go in is out within 5 minutes. Is it
Mhm.
just like charting that you're doing? Because
It's a lot of charting, I
like, yeah, I just
guess.
don't know. I don't know. We'll have to talk to
But
a
it's also the same
doctor
thing at
about
the
it.
bank. Have you ever gone to the bank and waited in line or like Service Ontario or like Service
Service
Canada
Ontario,
and you
yes.
stand in line and it's like the same people are standing at the what are they called? The queue.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
And they're standing there and it's taking like one person will take like 45 minutes to get all their stuff organized. And like, but then when you get up there, it's like 45 seconds and you're already out the
Yeah.
door. And it's
Now
like,
maybe it's because we are so prepared.
mm.
We go with everything.
So this isn't like the employee's issue, it's the
Maybe
people
it's the
going
people.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever called CRA and they're like, what's the number on your tax form? Like, we know that they're going to ask that.
Yeah.
So am prepared before I even go on the phone.
Yeah.
But there's people that are like, I'll have to find that. And then, like, that's
What's
taking that.
that?
Yeah.
What's that number? What does
Yeah.
it mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I guess that does make sense that for somebody who is prepared to go into these things because
Yeah.
like I don't want to be here any more than you want me to be here.
Yeah.
Like I have things to do.
Yeah.
Also, the person behind me stinks. Like yeah, ooh, I hate that.
Yeah.
Um something a little less uh serious, I guess, because I feel like the like waiting rooms and like doctors, like I feel like that's like a serious thing that
That's just
is
a system thing,
yeah, that's a system thing. Something that drives me bonkers when I go for like um anything is when people spell my name wrong.
Mm.
It makes my hair light on fire. Like we'll say with Starbucks, okay? I went to Starbucks the other day and it was one of the ones that was inside of a grocery store. And um I scanned my card and because it's a different affiliation between like a standalone Starbucks and then a Starbucks that's inside a grocery store. It's like kind of like a franchise to the like actual company,
Yeah.
right?
So you can't use your points.
You can't Yeah, you can't use your points, but you can gain points. So like
Mm.
so you can still scan your Starbucks card and it'll do the whole thing. But when you scan your Starbucks card, your account information shows up on their screen, and so your name is there. And I know this for a fact because when I went to Starbucks recently, I didn't tell them my name. I just scanned my card, end of transaction, waiting for it at the other end. They had my name written on the cup. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, so they
They
definitely
know
have
it.
my information somewhere. So you're looking at my name on the screen, and then you're writing my name on the cup, and you misspell my name. I'm like, and I'm just weird about it because like I absolutely despise the idea of spelling Michael EAL. I'm like, no, I'm AEL. Like, I don't know when it happened. I don't know when it triggered me, but I've always been triggered on people spelling my name EAL. And
I'm looking at a cup right now.
yeah, I'll post it. But like, I'm like, why? Why do you do this to me? Like, it's
Yeah.
a personal attack. I know it.
I feel it. Okay, this also segues into something I hate is in emails. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be emailing like, I don't know, a professor or someone that should know how to spell names, right?
Mm-hmm.
You send an email. Hi there, blah, 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 blah. Thank you so much, Michala. Hi, Michael. Or hi, Michelle. I'm sorry, but you are so on top of us for making sure everything is proper in an email, and then you're going to spell the name wrong.
Mm-hmm. Also, your email address. Oh, wait, I guess this would be a school email, right? That you're emailing
Well,
from?
or either one.
But like, you have a signature on there. You
Yeah.
introduced yourself in the email. Like, are you scanning it that quickly? And if you are scanning it that quickly, that tells me that you're not paying attention to
Yeah.
the actual issue that I'm dealing with.
It reminded me of, I think a lot of this, I think this happened in film school too, when we were like submitting to agents and how it
Mm-hmm.
was so on top of like to make sure that everything was spelt right. You had their name right. You were talking to them like,
Yeah.
and then they would spell your name wrong
Yeah.
in an email back. So it's like, you wouldn't even look at us if we spelt your name wrong,
Yeah.
but then you spell my name wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. I had, um, I don't like it like when senior to me management, like management in general,
Mhm.
spell my name wrong because like I work at an organization that is large. Like there's a lot of employees, right? And your name is everywhere. Like when you chat with them on something, your name shows above it. Like it's not an employee number or anything. You'll introduce yourself, whatever, and they'll still misspell your name.
Mhm.
And it's like, okay. So like you're not reading is what you're telling me.
You're not reading or you just don't care.
Yeah.
That's kind of like I get from it that you just didn't care to like confirm
Yeah, like you're not taking me
or
serious.
check. Yeah.
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 Um I on the topic of emails and pet peeves here, I hate when people don't format properly in an email, right? So you have your to, you have your CC'd, and you have your subject.
Yeah.
Summarize what this email is about, okay? If you are sending me an audition, write audition and date. In the email, give me the details. My agent or my ex agent used to like just start typing the email in the subject line and then continue the email when he ran out of characters for the subject line.
What?
Like like
Yeah.
just a nightmare. And it always drove me bonkers. And it was like I feel like if anybody ever saw my email correspondence with him, I would be so embarrassed for them. You know what I mean? Like what are you doing? Like
I think this is something that should have been learned in school, how to properly write an email,
yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Or how to reach out to like specific places that you've never reached out to before. Like to whom it may concern. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how do you reach out to these organizations for or a specific person or a specific department. Like if you're looking for finance at, um, we'll say Toyota, and you're trying to ask a question, maybe find out like the department information that you are actually chatting to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like subject line would be attention finance department. And then within it, you can say to whom it may concern, like that kind of thing,
Yeah.
right? But yeah,
Yeah.
email etiquette, I guess, would be like,
Etiquette. And like people who, when you ask questions in emails, just don't respond to them properly.
oh,
And then it becomes like a long chain of emails that didn't
misinformation.
need to be like that. That's why I prefer calling people because I'm like, hey, give me this. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Yeah. See, and I used to like calling people for that purpose, but in my emails that I write people, what I usually will do is like, I will, I'll start it out with like, hi, Michala. Um, Hope you're having a great day, whatever. I have a few questions. Bullet point one. One, for today's episode, do you want to speak specifically about one pet peeve or multiple pet peeves? Question two, when it comes to editing, would you mind taking the MP3 file and exporting it as a WAV file?
Mhm.
Like,
But people would respond to it being like, pet peeves are good.
yeah,
Okay, cool.
or just
That
yes,
literally didn't respond to anything that I just asked you
yeah,
to. Now I have to send you another email. So,
yeah.
yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Absolutely hate it.
Okay. So I have some more, but these are for like restaurant. Okay.
Oh, okay, I'm in. Yeah.
Okay. People who decide to rip up their coasters and leave them all over the table. Don't. Why you don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, are you an infant? Do you have to fidget with something? Because now I have to clean this off your freaking table.
Well, it's also all over the floor now.
Now it's all over the floor. And then another pet peeve is so you have this coaster that's ripped up all over the table, and then you leave, and then a new table comes in, sits at a dirty table. I don't know that the table's changed because you're now sitting at a dirty table. And then they get mad that you haven't served them yet. I'm like, you sat at a dirty table. A dirty table means
You're leaving.
the table is you're leaving or the table is occupied still.
Yeah. I totally agree.
Wait for the table to be cleaned.
Or like, yeah, or like people who are upset that they're sitting at a dirty table or that they're not being noticed. And it's like, well, yeah, but I also like I look at 5,000 faces a day.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of all just look alike at this point, you know?
Kind of, yeah.
Like unless that table that left is like your favorite person in the entire world, but like that's a gamble that you would have to take to sit at that dirty table.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like for me, it's like, okay, a table comes in, they pay their bill, they leave. I know the table has left. I go clean the table,
Mhm.
wipe it. It's ready for a new table.
Yeah.
So that in my mind is a fresh table. I will acknowledge that there's new people there.
Yeah. So
If that
Michala
table
reset.
leaves and you immediately take that table, it's no, I didn't even know you changed.
Yeah.
You look like the same people. And
Yeah.
then it's like, can you clean our table? It's like, maybe you can wait for the table. Or be like, hey, do you mind if we sit at that dirty table there? Of course, I'll come wipe it for you.
Yeah.
Now I know that you're a new table.
Or worst case scenario, stand at the dirty table.
Mm-hmm.
And like and I assume that if the reason that you would stand at the dirty table is if like the restaurant is busy
Yeah.
and it's a seat yourself kind of thing. You're
Mhm.
like, hey, do you mind if we sit here when it's cleaned? Yeah, 100%. I'll be there in like a couple minutes to get that done.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's that's tourists, baby.
That's tourists. It's honestly, I just don't like tourists. I think that's what I.
um Another pet peeve, this is kind of like completely different topic here. When you order something from a company and they ship it through Pure Later or UPS or anything like that, and they don't bring it to the right address and it's marked as delivered,
Mm-hmm.
or like when I ordered my dumbbells during the pandemic, right? They were shipped through Amazon, or no, they were They were shipped by Amazon through Pure Later. Okay. We were home. We never left home.
Yeah.
And Pure Later just left a note saying, sorry, we missed you.
Yeah.
And it was
They
like,
didn't want to bring it up.
yeah, because it was weights. And like, I understand if like you can't carry it, like maybe whatever, like you can't carry it, whatever. But I don't think that's a good enough excuse because you have a dolly.
Yeah.
Also, it's part of the job description is heavy lifting, I would assume. Is it not?
I assume. Look
Yeah.
at what people order. Something that annoys me is when you specifically put notes in on delivery and they just don't look at them. This happens all the time at Bianca's place because she lives on a main street. And she'll be like, call me when you're here because I live on a main street. You can't leave a package downtown Toronto on a main street. It will be gone in a second. She leaves her phone number with exact instructions and they'll just put a note on the door being like, sorry. She's like, I was home all day. I had my phone there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Annoying.
It's also really hard too with like people who live on main streets, especially in Toronto, I'll say that you don't have direct, like that's not your front door.
Yeah.
Like and also those doors are hard to find because they're often painted the same color as the building, or they're like little cubby holes where it doesn't look like people use that door.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
I thought I found a way around like robot callers. Because you know, like we always get like random phone calls nowadays.
I've been getting so many. Now that you said you were getting so many, I'm getting them too.
Yeah. Whether it be like air duct cleaning or
so much air duct cleaning.
So much air duct cleaning.
I don't want my air ducts cleaned.
I don't have air ducts.
Air ducts.
But I found this thing on TELUS where it's like the call blocker, right? Where when you're calling me, it says that I have controlled or caller control, where if you're calling me, you have to press 1 to get through, and that will keep automated dialers from being able to get through.
Yeah.
But with today's apartment buildings, your buzzer goes to your phone, and that's technically a robot dial. And so I wasn't able to get like deliveries from like Uber Eats or from like that kind of thing.
So sorry, before you move, so if it's like, oh, dial 1, if they hit 1 on the button, does that not work? Oh.
Because I tried that day that I was locked out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. But it won't even put you through. Yeah. I also just don't know if that's like, I don't think that's a telephone dial pad. I think it's just an internal system dial pad.
Oh, true.
Because otherwise, I think you would be able to phone anywhere in the world. Right?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually.
I just thought
because I'm always
right
thinking of pressing it from my phone.
Yeah. So I had to take off that caller control, which means that I'm going to start getting, well, I already did start getting calls. But do you get the one where it's the one auto dial call where like you pick it up and it's like this music from what's the Chinese instrument? It's like harpy, but also it's like the like that string instrument that's like, and then this female voice comes on and just starts speaking another language and you're like, what is this?
Yeah. Do you ever get the ones about the cruises?
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
Where it's like
I've so many cruises.
when you pick it up and it goes,
oh,
this is your captain speaking. And you're like,
you're like, I won.
I did it.
Yeah. Oh, darn.
I used to keep those people on the phone when I was homesick.
Really?
Oh yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so exciting. So tell me about this. And then they tell me about it. And then after wasting their time for like an hour, he's like, oh, you know what? I just don't think that I'll be able to afford that. And they're like, ah, and they hang up on you. It's the best.
I just remembered I'm afraid of water. Bye. I love when people just hang on to the like not prank callers, but the scam calls for
Uh-huh.
too long. They're like, "Oh, so you want me to go to Walmart and get 6 gift cards? Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Got it. 1, 3, 4. Oh, crap. Sorry, that wasn't it. Instead of the 3, it's a 2. It's a 6 instead of the 5. Okay, so sorry. 2, 6. I get so mad. It's so funny.
I love it when because people will make like YouTube videos on that, and they'll be like the person on the like the scammer will just like start calling this person names like you're an idiot, and like or like they'll start swearing at them, just being like it's so funny to listen to them get frustrated. They're like, who do you think you're convincing to give you these gift cards if you're
Also,
calling them
the CRA is calling me on the phone.
bad
And
grammar?
they want me to pay my $5,000 bill with gift cards,
Yeah.
or they're gonna arrest me. I'm like, okay, cool.
No, they're not going to arrest you. They're going to get you arrested. That's
Yes,
like,
we're gonna get you arrested.
you're going to get arrested. Like,
So
okay.
funny.
Okay.
You know what? Take me. Sure.
Do it. I promise you, you're going to have a lot more fun. Yeah. I'm exhausted thinking of pet peeves right now. That's
I hate talking about pet peeves.
Do you ever just have like a super stressful day and like by the end of it you're like I am exhausted and I didn't do anything?
Oh yeah, all the
Like
time.
that's where I'm at right now
Yeah.
with this.
Yeah. A pet peeve of not a pet peeve of mine, but a pet peeve of Bianca's.
Okay.
She always tells me, and I don't know if this is normal. We're gonna have to do a consensus here because I talked to Heather, and she says she agrees with me. So Bianca always tells me to put the toilet seat down, and like not the toilet seat down, like the lid.
The lid. Close the
The
lid.
lid.
Yeah.
Yes. And I never close the lid.
Mhm.
And neither does Heather. So do you close the lid?
I close the lid, but I don't close the lid because of like habit or like I like it to look that way.
Yeah.
I close the lid because when you flush the toilet, it sprays my like germs
Hmm.
all over the bathroom.
Yeah.
I think actually the spray of it is like 6 feet in like diameter. And I watched a video of somebody where they flushed the toilet and they had like a UV light and they put like the liquid in the water to see like if it actually sprays kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it does. And the thing is that next to the toilet you have like your toothbrush and
That's why they
like,
said to put those little things on your toothbrush.
exactly.
I don't notice the toilet seat ever down though.
Um
Unless I just don't think about it.
I mean, maybe you don't. I usually do.
Hmm.
Maybe I don't.
Maybe
I don't
you don't.
know. Am I contradicting myself?
See, she says it more from like a smell perspective, okay?
Mm.
If you have just gone to the bathroom.
Okay.
She thinks, this is her theory,
Okay.
that the smell won't be as bad if you close the lid.
Okay.
And I don't agree with that
She
because
thinks
there's
that
holes
it's like
in the side of the toilet.
He thinks that it's gonna like Tupperware it.
It's yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is my theory though, okay?
Uh-huh.
If I'm using Febreze.
Yeah.
Okay. So, science. I was explaining to her the science behind it. So if you're watching a toilet commercial and you've just flushed the toilet, so all those germs are coming up, right?
Yeah.
In like their little pluses.
Yeah. Yeah.
You spray Febreze and the negatives come down.
Yes.
Take away the pluses.
And it becomes a neutral.
It's a neutral.
Mhm.
That's my theory.
Yeah. Fair.
And that I'm going to stand by it. Science people. But I do understand it in terms of germs.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
I just never do it out of habit. You know?
Yeah, it's
I
fair.
just don't think about it.
I mean, like, honestly, if you're cleaning your bathroom and changing your toothbrush often enough, we also have immune systems. And not saying that you should be drinking pee by any means, but like, we have immune systems and like, you should be cleaning your bathroom on a regular basis. So, like, maybe it's not going to kill you, but maybe. For the smell aspect that she's talking about, though, like where it contains the smell, you know, one thing that I really realized recently was because I would buy those blue tablets for the back of the toilet where you put in the tank and then keeps the toilet clean,
Mhm.
or that's what it says it does. Lunchtime for Jack. Take it easy over there. I think that those tablets, because they have bleach or some disinfectant what or in there, right? If you have that in the back of your toilet, I think it kills bacteria of like the dookies that are going into the water. So it kind of kills the smell almost like instantly.
Hmm.
Obviously, there's still going to be a smell because like it's in the air.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to stop it from progressively creating more smell. So you won't be Tupperwaring anything when you close the lid. Just be fresh.
Maybe.
Because it's kind of the idea behind poopery, right?
I think so. I think poopery, though, you're supposed to spray it on you're supposed to spray it in the bowl before you go to the bathroom because the oil is supposed to.
Is it before?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was after.
No, before.
Okay.
Because I think the idea is when oil hits water, there's that layer, right? And it's supposed to, when you go to the bathroom, then it's not supposed to be able to like permeate that layer. Yeah. Is the I think the reason behind it.
That makes sense. But then if that is in fact the case, then I think my theory, hypothesis, I can't remember which one is accurate, would make sense then, because like if poopery is closing it to keep all that stuff in, then the antibacterial water that the dookies, sorry, I don't know, I don't want to say the wrong word here, that's going into the water, it's like eliminating that odor creation bacteria, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess so.
Right? Like if you pour bleach on a smell, it kills the smell.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't
It's like a
usually
clean
use bleach.
turd.
I don't know. Bleach freaks me out.
That's fair. A lot of things freak you out.
Yeah, a lot of things freak me out. Okay, we have time for one more.
Okay.
Do you have any?
Well, I want you said we have time for one more. Do you have?
Okay. Let me see.
If not, I'm sure I can rack my brain here.
Okay. I don't know if this is a pet peeve or just, no, I guess it could be a pet peeve. Going to a restaurant and them seating you at a bar top. Like I hate sitting at bar stools. Unless you're sitting specifically at the bar. That's different.
Yeah.
But I hate like bar stools.
Yeah.
The ones with like no backs on them.
I was just gonna say, I thought you were gonna go in a different direction, but we're kind of in the same direction here.
Yeah.
I really dislike going to a restaurant, and the Score on King is actually the place that I'm referring to specifically.
Okay.
Because all of their tables are backless chairs.
Yeah. And they're the tiny little squares.
Yeah.
My butt doesn't fit on that.
No, and neither does my butt.
Yeah.
My butt does not fit on this tiny square.
Yeah. Now, if it's bar stools that are like chairs but high, cool.
Yeah, the back on it.
It's just those metal ones that I just don't like. I hate them.
I agree.
Especially when you book a reservation.
Ooh.
We booked a reservation for dinner one time. It was like last Christmas, and they put us at a bar top. Those terrible chairs, and you were kind of like directly beside each other.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is not a nice dinner.
No.
This is so awkward. So we're like, can we like sit at a low top? They're like, oh, there's reservations there. I'm like, well, we booked a reservation too. So maybe give us a sit down. Because I don't want to eat. Like, I don't want to stay there for a long time.
Yeah.
If I'm on one of those chairs.
Well, I think that's actually the reason why those chairs exist, right? Because like if you think about like restaurant logic or like the whole marketing scheme behind it, right? When you go to a restaurant, we'll say like with McDonald's specifically, I think I mentioned this in a episode like over a year ago now. Also, I think this is like episode 90 for us.
Wow.
Yeah. But when you go to McDonald's or Burger King or Wendy's, one thing that you'll notice with a lot of fast food restaurants is that there's very vibrant colors, right? Fluorescent lights. And the reason behind this is because it's overstimulating. So therefore, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to eat and leave. Fast food, fast service, get the hell out of here. Like that's kind of like the mentality of it, right? Sit down restaurants, like we'll say with like places that are like meant for a lot, like very large restaurants, right? I'm specifically referring to like, I guess like a buffet, right?
Okay.
Buffets usually very dimly lit.
Yeah.
Muted colors, very, very dark. Because and low music. Because dim lighting and dark colors depresses people. And when people are depressed, they eat.
More.
Exactly.
But for a buffet, wouldn't that be like a bad thing? Because then you're going through more food.
Yeah. Technically. Yeah. But
that's
so
theory.
They're putting the food out already. So it needs to get eaten.
True. Yeah. Interesting.
I think that's it. I heard that once upon a time and I thought maybe it was a thing.
That honestly probably makes sense.
Yeah. Wow. Great timing, Jacqueline. Yeah. Hang on. We'll be right back.
And we're back.
Yeah. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Speaking of dookies.
Yeah.
Our recording studio is also in the litter box room.
Yes. Litter boxes are so awkward. Like, where do you put them?
You can never put them anywhere appropriate.
Yeah.
Like,
unless there's like a closet. But still, do you want? Yeah, they're so awkward. Yeah.
I know.
Anyway.
Yeah, you'll never be happy with putting the litter box anywhere.
Yeah.
At the entrance, people are going to smell as soon as they walk in.
Yeah.
Your bedroom?
Absolutely not.
Stinky.
Gross.
Bathroom? No, because litter gets on the floor. When you get out of the shower, you get litter on your feet.
Unless you have a big bathroom.
That
you can kind of like stick it in a corner and that's it.
Mm-hmm. I think a laundry room of all places would be the best, but I also would worry about like the laundry coming out and it being smelly and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyways, that concludes this week's episode. We're all pet peeved out. If you want to find this episode anywhere else other than like Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, on your smart speakers, or Google Podcast, did I say that one already?
No, I don't think so.
I think it's also on Podbean. I can't remember. Amazon Podcast, I think it's on there too.
I think so, yeah.
It's all over the place. Well, now it's on YouTube. We're doing the video podcast. Also, Spotify will be having video podcast, but I'm releasing that later in the week just because like I don't want the audio and the video to be competing.
Yeah.
But it's also on Facebook. Listen there.
Fun. So many places to listen.
So check those out. Leave a like. Subscribe. Honestly, I would love it if more people would just like leave
comments,
reviews on like the actual podcast platforms.
Yeah.
But with that being said, Michala Todd, if people are going to find you on social media, where are they going to find you? You can find me at Michala Todd, and that's MICHALATODD. And you can find Mike at MICHEAL. Just kidding. That's wrong. Mike, where are they going to find you? Wrong on two different levels. If you want to find me on Instagram and also on TikTok, I've changed my handle to M1C1515. I liked MIC1515. Yeah. But TikTok, somebody took it from me. Couldn't have that anymore. And I wanted cross-platform. Yeah. I mean, it's annoying to have two different ones. Yeah. Find me. Right? So yeah, you can find me at M1C1515. And if you would like to find Michala Todd and Michael Jenkins on the exact same platform at the exact same time, you can find us on Instagram. Okay, hear me out. That's OKAY, hear me out. Also Facebook. Yeah, Facebook. I think that's the only socials that we have. Yeah, basically. But that's all we need. That's really all you need, yeah. 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 I think that's all I have. Okay. Have a great week, everybody. Bye, everyone.